there are the halftime statistics.
Is that incredible? In the Dallas column, look at the 153 yards rushing at half, 7-yard average, 76 yards for Robert Newhouse, and 7 for 8 for Roger Staubach, 126 yards, and he is the tempo setter.
And look how long the Cowboys kept the football as compared to the Bears. Over twice as much. Pat Summerall at Texas Stadium, along with Tom Brookshire and Paul Hornung, who's down on the sidelines. We'll be getting reports from him from time to time.
Walter Payton had 18 yards on 7 carries and may get the kickoff if Efren makes a mistake.
Payton is standing back at the 5, trying to figure out now which way Herrera is going to kick it. He's going to try to kick it away from Payton, but this time Walter will have a chance. At the 5, he takes it. And Payton cuts back. Payton still on his feet and still struggling. Randy Hughes put the clamp on him finally at the 31-yard line. Ron Rideouch, that's his ankle on the sideline. And that doesn't look like he's going to play too much more.
He wants to try, doesn't he?
The Cotton Bowl will also be played in Dallas, but at the Cotton Bowl, not here. And it'll be a classic. Texas against Notre Dame, Monday, January the 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
A war.
The Notre Dame players were staying at the same place we were, but it was already a war. Picked off by D.D. Lewis, and D.D.'s got some blockers. Lewis around the corner to the 30. Lewis to the 20 and out of bounds. Dan Piper knocked him out of bounds, but the Cowboys have it in good shape.
And probably the best year for number 50 of all of them. He's sort of the elder statesman now. Only a second interception. And I'll tell you, he got great depth. Let's watch it. A roll to the weak side by Avellini. He's got Harper going out of the backfield. Latta's turning outside, and the ball never gets there. Ooh, and Cliff Harris takes care of the receiver.
It was intended for Latta, but look at him block out in front of D.D. Lewis.
They're on offense.
All of a sudden, it's 1st and 10 Dallas, the ball at the Bear 19. Billy Joe DuPree in motion. It's a forward handoff to Newhouse. He's not going to go anywhere this time. Doug Buffone and Mike Hartenstein made sure.
Great play by Buffone that time. He actually got cut down by Scott and got back up and did get number 44 out of bounds.
Ron Rideouch is not in that defensive unit, by the way. It is Jerry Myers who took his place.
Patrick, I've never seen Dallas any sharper than this or more completely prepared for their opposition. I really mean it.
I haven't either. This is as good as they've looked. They lead 17-0. Ball on the 22 now as Newhouse lost to it. He had 79 yards himself in the first half. Here's Dorsett. He's in.
I wonder if we can slow it down for the replay, because that's what you have to do.
He's going to come right at you. Try to tackle it.
You're on the defensive side. Here it is. Newhouse filling to that side, the stutter step, and Staubach took it all the way back to him. There goes Hicks down. Fitzgerald's block was good. And I'm telling you now, you better head him off at the pass. It's over.
Too late.
Bryant was the last lunge at him.
Herrera makes it Dallas 24. The Chicago Bears nothing. After the interception by D.D. Lewis, it took the Cowboys just 2 plays to make it 24-zip.
Know what I put on before shopping? My glasses. I look at labels. For 100% natural, easy washing denim jeans, I look for
the seal of cotton.
For soft, thirsty towels,
the seal of cotton.
For shirts that are cotton comfortable, plus no ironing.
The seal of cotton.
For sheets that mean sleeping comfort. Whenever comfort matters, I look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
What's the quickest way to trim a door?
Stanley Surfform.
What's the easiest way to shape a tile?
Stanley Surfform.
What's the best way to smooth body filler?
Stanley Surfform.
Stanley Surfform tools have preset replaceable blades that won't clog and don't need sharpening or adjusting. Surfform tools trim or shape just about anything. What's the best way to give an elephant a pedicure?
Stanley Surform.
From Stanley, the do-it-yourself company.
We want to help you do things right.
Keep going.
They want more, don't they?
Wahoo!
It's 24-0. Dallas over Chicago as Efren Herrera prepares to kick off. Walter Payton standing at the 5. Kicking away from him. But he comes up and handles. Nothing. Dave Stalls down to make the tackle for Dallas. There's the scoring drive after the interception by D.D. Lewis. Dorsett's touchdown run was 22 yards.
His 13th touchdown, and he only started the last 5 games.
The best of the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday from 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Central and Pacific, including highlights of that fabulous show by Nadia Comaneci and other highlights, too.
And Carlos Monzon's last big title defense.
Terrific. That's on the Sports Spectacular next week. Avellini's got some problems with his running backs. Payton is on the left. Ed Jones made the tackle on Roland Harper.
I have a feeling that Ernie Stautner talked to Too Tall Jones all week about this has got to be your greatest day. You play the run well, but we need you to be inspired. We need you to pick us up because Payton will run through this hole like somebody going for the commuter to the northwest side of Chicago, and he has played incredibly well.
Ed Jones is 6'9", 265. Avellini under pressure. Randy White chased him, but he got away from him. Ball batted up in the air off the hands of James Scott, who was hit by Cliff Harris.
That isn't a sack, but I'll tell you, that'll do till one comes along. You want to see 4 people scratching at him. Watch Too Tall, and you'll pick up Randy White and Harvey and all of them as they stunned up front. You'll see why Avellini decided to roll left very quickly and let the receiver worry about it.
That block by Payton on Ed Jones might have hurt his knee a little bit. Not so seriously that he had to come out.
That's where Payton would have to block him, is about the knee.
Yeah, that's about where Walter Payton's shoulders would come. The Too Tall's knee. On a 3rd down and 10, Avellini has Payton and Harper behind him. The blitz, and Avellini running from Kyle, goes down, fumbles, and I believe Dallas has it. Cowboys own the football. Bill Gregory. And the blitz by Aaron Kyle got the Bears in trouble.
Kyle and Henderson. Watch the right part of your screen and lower left. There's the safety man, Kyle. Now watch Henderson run through Harper's block and nail him right in the back. And the ball came out. That was a fumble. Cowboy defense is really angry.
And Gregory made the recovery. A very dejected Bob Avellini coming off the field, and also Jack Pardee in that same frame of mind at the moment. At the 11, the Cowboys have it, 1st and 10. They already lead 24-0. 12 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Dorsett and Newhouse behind Staubach. Newhouse through about the 9. Tom Hicks made the tackle.
Weak side straight by number 44, and I'll tell you, he's having perhaps the best day. But Dallas as a whole has so many good players, it's just hard to shut it off, isn't it?
So many places they can attack. Preston Pearson, who is their 2nd leading pass receiver, hasn't played at all. It didn't work out at all during the week. He's a heck of a weapon, too. It'll be 2nd down at the 8th, and Dorsett gets the call again, and this time nothing doing. He got only back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Good penetration by Jim Osborne. Well, remember now, with Wally Chambers and Big Stillwell and all, they had a pretty good young defensive line coming, and they've had to redo that. And they are playing maybe one of the best Dallas teams of all time.
Perhaps. In fact, Tom Landry says this Dallas team has more potential than any he's ever had.
It's scary when he says that.
It'll be 3rd down now. The Briskovich still the 9. Golden Richards to the left. Drew Pearson to the right. They let the time run down on the 30-second clock. Run out.
First big mental mistake they've made.
Second penalty is all against Dallas. We just had a visit a minute ago from a superb athlete, a tennis player, in fact, and one of the best, Dick Stockton.
Yeah, it looks like he might be able to play free safety or flanker, but he didn't think so when we recommended it.
That big hole in the roof of Texas Stadium, which is not a mistake, it's intentional, is the reason we can't see the clock at the other end of the field, and perhaps he couldn't see it either because the sun is right on it. He drops. Billy Joe DuPree had turned up the field. Roger Staubach thought he was going to go to the sideline. He didn't.
Good pass rush by Newsom and company, though. They came and they put a lot of heat on Roger. He even kept Newhouse in, and it didn't work. A good defensive series for the Bears.
Herrera, number 1.
It's only Roger's second incomplete pass of the afternoon.
Wow. Herrera's first name, by the way, is spelled E-F-R-E-N. And there have been a lot of questions asked about how you pronounce it. It is good from a friend. That's the way he says pronounce it. 31-yard field goal makes it Dallas 27, Chicago on the pony. Herrera to kick it off. Walter Payton will field it at the 4. Payton buried by Dave Stalls and Thomas Henderson and Bruce Huther. Special teams have done a good job, and so has the offense, and so has the defense.
Well, the last time that Chicago had the ball, the last 3 times have been turnovers, Pat.
That is notification of a CBS News special at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Charlie Chaplin died at the age of 88 yesterday. And CBS News has a special on his life coming at 11:30 tonight. That's Eastern Time. 1st and 10 for the Chicago Bears, and Payton runs the draw play. And again, Payton having an awfully difficult time getting anything underway.
Well, Randy White stopped the play at the point of attack, but Too Tall Jones chased the play to the far side, and darn near got contact on a very quick play by Payton.
Payton has carried 8 times, picked up 21 yards. So it hasn't been your typical Payton day.
Looks like the Bears have tried to get some larger splits. They're splitting a little bit more on the offensive line, trying to get a little bit of room.
You were looking just a moment ago at Jethro Pugh across the line from Reedy Story. Dallas flex this time gets to Roland Harper, and he won't get a first down. Randy White. Bob Avellini, who's quite a guy.
Got great leadership qualities. And with a young team, that is extremely important. He's only in his 3rd year anyway. Beat out a pretty good quarterback, though, in preseason, in Mike Phipps.
They've got the Bears in the playoffs since the first time since 1963 when they beat the Giants at Wrigley Field.
Billy Wade was the QB, huh?
Billy Wade, Mike Ditka, Larry Morris, and Group. Pitches back to Payton. Good blocks out front, but good pursuit by Dallas. He is shy of a first down. Charlie Waters and Bill Gregory helped to run it down.
And I heard helmet-to-helmet contact picked up on our field mic.
That was by Thomas Henderson. That was the pop, I think.
Here it is. I'm telling you, 204 pounds, this guy can shock you. And if you've ever tackled anybody, sometimes half your body goes numb, and they laid it on.
Reedy Story and Roland Harper both blocked Charlie Waters, but good pursuit by Dallas. Bob Parsons back deep for the Bears. Fine punt. That's Tony Hill. Still looking and still running. Tony Hill, the rookie from Stanford. Stopped finally by Dan Neal, a 45-yard punt by Potter. Down Dallas. They lead 27. On a delay, stopped by Jerry Myers.
Bear defense began to lay it on pretty good. That last series down there, forcing the field goal, was excellent. And they are still banging. And then maybe you try to do it with defense, and sometimes that gamble backfires. But they've got to give the offense a little field position down here. Maybe they'll try stripping a ball carrier again.
Clock continues to move. 8.5 minutes left, third quarter. Dallas 27, Chicago nothing. Bears have been across midfield just once. Fake draw. Staubach throws outside, intended for Newhouse. Wayman Bryant on the coverage.
Did you hear the Bear linebackers yell draw?
Yeah.
And Rogers faking the ball, I think, better this year than I've seen him before. He's very deliberate with the fake, and a fake to Dorsett makes things happen.
That was one of the observations that Tom Landry was making yesterday. That when you have a back of the capability of Dorsett, who is a threat to break almost any time, you've got your wide receivers blocking better, you've got your tight end blocking better, the other back is blocking better. They just have so much respect for his ability that it improves their performance.
You can't let up or he'll embarrass you. He'll come over your way and force you into the game.
27-0, Cowboys over Bears. From the shotgun, only the second time today, Staubach throws. Picked off by Virgil Livers. Livers gets back to about the 43-yard line, where Jay Saldi knocks him out of bounds, but the Bears, for the second time now, have the ball in Dallas territory.
Okay, Roger makes a mistake. He looks for the short man curling out and decides at the last minute to throw quickly and off balance. Livers had 2 during the regular season and a big one here in this playoff, and the Bear defense is very much alive.
The intended receiver was Golden Richards. Bear first down at the Dallas 44. The Bears desperately need to get something on the scoreboard, and they give to Walter Payton. That's as good a way as I know. Payton bounces, stays on his feet. Is that incredible? Harvey Martin finally got him down.
Now, Sorey got out in front in great shape, the big right guard. We said he's 267 or 8. And I'm telling you, Payton hit ahead, pulled back, and kept the darn legs going. And just watch it from the way the Cowboys saw it. Watch this contact here. Henderson makes good contact, doesn't he? That's like a unicycle.
Payton doesn't know about it. First down, Chicago. Charlie Waters goes out. Is out. Randy Hughes takes his place. Good this time. Randy White. Thomas Henderson helped him. Tackle was on Roland Harper. He did well to hold on to the football.
I'd like to have White breathing on you the entire game. And, you know, they pull back in that flex, and it's hard for the lineman to go out and make contact.
Comparison for the day's work today between Dorsett and Payton, both of whom got over 1,000 yards during the regular season. Payton almost got 2,000 in fact. Dorsett got over 1,000 as a rookie and only started 5 games. Here's Payton and Ed Too Tall Jones. And Bob Brunig. Larry Cole is the guy who hit him first.
He's made one big play in every Dallas game I've ever seen or done or anything else, number 63.
Third down 9 situation. Brunig goes out. He had some tough shoes to fill, didn't he? Those of Leroy Jordan.
You don't ever really fill those. You just replace the person, right? Are they going to throw the ball to Walter Payton, do you think?
He is number 34. Let's see if he comes out of the backfield. He stays in the block. Avellini with good protection this time throws down the middle. Again, it's picked off. This time it's Waters. Waters cuts back to the middle and cuts back to the other side. Charlie Waters still on his feet. And still, Waters to the 46. Bob Avellini finally made the tackle.
Number 2 for 41. And what a run back.
Incredible.
Again, they keep the backs in. A allows the free safety man to be free. That's trouble.
Trouble for Chicago.
And now we come back.
Pearson go in motion. Watch Dorsett. Go straight ahead. Wayman. Dallas 20. Chicago nothing. 5.5 minutes left to play third quarter.
You know how close he came to breaking that play? About one half a step.
Doug Dennison comes in. Dorsett goes out, limping just a bit.
He's going to need a truck to go to the bank in his career in this league, I'll tell you that.
If he can stay healthy. He had a little bit of a sore leg coming in.
I didn't notice.
80 yards. Hate to see him well, would you? Newhouse struggling for a first down. Tom Hicks and Billy Newsom. The rest of the Bear defensive line made the tackle.
And Hicks is going to be a good middle linebacker, number 54. He used to weigh about 255, and they sent him home one year when he got injured and just said, work on yourself and get yourself in shape. And he came back to camp at 230, and he's just a great athlete at 230.
Second-year man from Illinois who broke Dick Butkus records in college for unassisted tackles.
No kidding. There's another guy. You don't try to find another Butkus. Those only come along every once in a while, don't they?
Don't forget later today the second NFC playoff game between the Rams and the Minnesota Vikings at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The misdirection play by Newhouse is near a first down. Tom Hicks again made the tackle. Hicks saying that he's down back here.
Chicago defense is playing tough on that line of scrimmage, I'll tell you. They are unloading on defense, and Hicks moves right in, and he may have gotten the first.
I don't believe he did.
I believe it's awfully close. That's two good serves in a row for that defense.
And here is the first Dallas punt of the day coming up.
Danny White must be nervous.
If Herrera had not been able to kick today, Danny White would have done the place kicking as well as the punting. Steve Schubert is deep for Chicago, number 85. There's Danny White, another outstanding athlete.
Schubert went 70 yards for a touchdown with a run back earlier in the year.
Danny White trying for the sideline. Got it. Everything's going right. Danny White trying for the corner, and he got it. And here comes Mike Ditka running down the sideline to cheer him on.
26th time that he's nailed a corner inside the 20.
That's pretty good.
That might be the best way to really judge a punter of all. It's very hard to go against this kind of a defense. 96 yards.
I wonder what barbecued bear tastes like.
We may find out after the game, huh?
A sports spectacular in January. The WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. Along with much, much more. It's going to be a great year for the Spec. Duran and DeJesus, that alone is spectacular. On first down, Avellini gives to Walter Payton. And down he goes. Harvey Martin caught him from behind.
Look at that.
Isn't that incredible?
And Payton doesn't spend much time in one place either. Watch the left of your screen. Payton never saw it. Train comes through here on Tuesday, right?
And it comes through fast. Payton, 12 carries for 31 yards. 11 carries make it.
Randy White scared our cameraman.
Scared me. Second down, Chicago. Avellini drops in his own end zone. Ed Jones almost had him for a safety, but Avellini gets it out to Greg Latta, and the Bears pop it up. Genie Lewis picks it up. Lewis at the 8-yard line where Dallas will take over. Thomas Henderson is the guy who hit Greg Latta.
Oh, a great play by Avellini to get the completion. And Latta just didn't concentrate on getting down with the first down and the ball. Here it is. Watch the left side of your screen, and Too Tall Jones goes by, and Avellini does a heck of a job getting it off.
I think Greg Latta is the only receiver I've ever seen, particularly on a day that's not too cold, that's got his hands taped or wrapped. Makes it awfully hard to hold on to the football.
That's true.
Dallas, first and goal. Doug Dennison and Robert Newhouse and Dorsett. And this is Dorsett. This is a Dallas touchdown. His second of the day.
Does he glide into the hole? Watch Rafferty, number 64, get out in front, to the right of your screen. Newhouse will fill. Watch this move right here. See you later.
And really, all you have to do is fill. Stand up in somebody's face. And he's gone. 17 carries, 85 yards for Dorsett. Dallas, 34. Chicago, nothing. We had just gotten word from the Dallas bench that Tony Dorsett had gone out with what they call the tight knee. I think it's well.
Yeah, he came back and loosened it up.
34-0. The Cowboys over the Bears. Destruction time at Texas Stadium.
I'm wondering about on the West Coast right now if the coaches allow the Rams or the Vikings to even think about this game, or if they seal them off from the outside world. Huh?
The Challenge of the Sexes returns Sunday, January the 8th at 1 p.m. for the third year. In tennis, it's Virginia Wade against Vidas Gerulaitis. And then the regional games of the NBA this year on CBS. Premiere of that as well. That starts Sunday, January the 8th at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
Back to my original question. What do you think about the coaches on the West Coast right now? Do you think Grant and Chuck Knox are even allowing them to think about the other game?
I don't know how you can help but think about it. But I wouldn't like them to think about too much other than what they've got in front of them. That's Walterscheid. Out to about the 29-yard line. Almost broke it. Stopped by Benny Barnes. They're working on Dorsett over on the sideline. That's Larry Brinson, the rookie from Florida, standing in front of him.
See, Fitzgerald goes to the onside and gets a great block. A tough one for the center.
He's back, though.
That knee can't be too tight.
Got a bad wheel. I sure can't see it.
2 touchdowns for Dorsett. One by Dennison. One by Billy Joe DuPree. 2 field goals by Herrera. Interceptions, recovered fumbles, everything. Roland Harper. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Harvey Martin tripped him. Randy White and Bob Bruning went over to make sure.
I sure think Avellini ought to get his backs into the passing pattern and start either using Peyton coming across or tying up people and bringing people under him or what have you. But you're not going to get much time to throw it anyway. You might as well get everybody in the act.
Over on the Dallas bench, that's Drew Pearson and Golden Richards for a Monday afternoon chat.
We're talking about barbecued ribs tonight. Bear ribs.
It's second and 10. Avellini throws, picked off. This is Charlie Waters' third of the day. Waters to the 30. Incredible. Unusual. Outstanding.
Well, you know, during the year, on their interceptions, they had 21, the Cowboys did, and they averaged 19 yards a return during the season. And, you know, when you turn over from defense to offense and not only get the ball and get possession, but really turn it on and get good blocks and rally up, it really helps the defense, you know it?
The running backs are Larry Brinson and Doug Dennison. And this is Doug Dennison. Straight ahead for 4 or 5 down near the 25, and finally they wrestle around Wayman Bryant, the leader of the tacklers. That was Jack Pardee you just looked at. They lost to Houston 47-0. And then since then, the Bears had won 6 straight. And Chicago had been swept by what they call Bear Mania.
Yeah, and they are a young team. They are not going to go back and next year not play well. They're going to play much, much better.
For Jack Pardee, they will. Young man number 36, the near back, close to Staubach. It's quite a runner. That's Doug Dennison, who bangs down to about the 23, shy of a first down, stopped by Wayman Bryant and Billy Newsom. Charlie Waters, who had some miserable years when he was playing cornerback, but who now has developed into one of the outstanding safety men in the league.
He's a new daddy, too, you know. This might be a game ball might be passed out. He might have something good for the little man to have around the house.
He might get more than one.
Patrick, do you realize how Dallas has kept Fensick and Plank from being involved in the play a lot? Two safety men that really sort of key their defense are really not involved much today.
It is 3rd and 3. Brinson moves. Roger. He's got Brinson. And they have a Dallas first down. Doug Buffone knocked him out of bounds. 20 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Dallas 34, Chicago Bears nothing.
You mentioned Roger being a baseball player. He threw that one off the wrong leg, sort of like an old single-wing tailback, you know, and got it there in a hurry. Sprint out.
Over on the Dallas bench. Jethro's pretty happy.
Say hi, Mom.
At least smile, Jethro.
Merry Christmas, Mom. From behind the mask, Jethro Pugh. Drew Pearson goes in motion. First down, Dallas. Larry Brinson bangs down inside the 15. Jim Osborne made the tackle. That might be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Jerry Myers helped out, by the way. He's done a good job since Chambers left.
But they're all not #1 draft choices. Brinson's a good example. They pick, even their free agents are people that play and will wait for the chance to play.
They trot to the other end of the field. Both clubs do.
Playoff game on CBS
Today. And he is near the 10. And perhaps there. By the way, San Diego and Los Angeles are blacked out on the West Coast, so they will not see Los Angeles and Minnesota in those areas.
Some people better get in the car and start driving, right?
Fill up that Coliseum.
Or drive somewhere just north of there.
3rd down situation for the Cowboys now. The ball at the 10-yard line after that last carry by Dennison.
Cowboys have 331 yards after 3 periods, and they're not through.
Just begun the 4th quarter. Roger Staubach is still the quarterback, but Danny White's been warming up. Roger's going to throw and fire over the head of Drew Pearson. Herrera and Waters started on and now went back, and now they're coming on again as Staubach let that one slip out of his fingers over the head of Pearson.
Pearson's another free agent, right? Roger was a 10th round draft choice, and they waited for him to go to Vietnam with the Navy and everything else.
He was drafted by Dallas the year before Craig Morton, 1964. In the sun is the offensive line of Dallas, the defensive line of the Bears. In the shade is Efren Herrera for attempt at field goal number 3, which again splits it. Dallas moves out in front 37-0 over the Chicago Bears, and we still.
There's nothing.
Bears have crossed the 50 only twice.
I wonder what the team biorhythmic chart looks like for the Cowboys today.
Herrera catches this one pretty good. That is Walterscheid returning. And breaking. And down finally by Jim Cooper, I believe, number 61. 40-yard return. Hey. There's our friend Ray.
It's the #1 draft choice he got there.
Which one?
1975. Ray is everywhere, isn't he?
Now, you talk about a magician. Did he do some funny tricks?
He made a cigarette. I lighted one disappear in my jacket one day. It's a good trick.
And it was a good jacket. Harvey Martin led the tacklers.
You want to see the future of the Bears, take a look at the big fullback that's in there right now, Robin Earl.
And when you say big, 6'5" and about 245. That's the fullback. The 78 season in the NBA. So far, there have been a couple of monumental battles. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kent Benson.
We lost our commentators. Cunningham went to be a coach. Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins go. Of course, that Dermot Washington incident. Ed Jones again made the tackle, or made the stop possible, when he hit Payton behind the line of scrimmage and enabled Randy White to finally bring him down.
I'll tell you something. He didn't even slow Walter Payton down, though. Payton ran through his armpit and out the other side. It's not that the Bears are not hitting to the lick. It's just like everywhere you go, you run into somebody that is really a superb athlete, you know?
Those dressed in blue and white. If Dallas wins, and it certainly looks like they will, the NFC Championship game will be here next week. Either Los Angeles or Minnesota. Harvey Martin apparently got back, and here's Payton running the left. Payton breaks a couple of tackles and continues. A flag goes down. I think we might have a face mask, unintentional.
Yeah, and very quickly taken off. It might have been Henderson reaching around. No, I believe it was number 58 down there.
58 is
Hegman. Mike Hegman may have reached over. Harvey Martin got sort of up in the air, almost off sides, and Albrecht took him down inside. And Walter Payton can break a tackle or two, can he?
Say before, you think about possibilities, but the Cowboys did have a chance to draft Walter Payton. Atlanta had first choice that year. They took Bartkowski.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. First
Dallas
down.
went next and took Randy White. Baltimore went next and took Ken Huff, the guard from North Carolina, and then came the Bears, and they got Walter Payton.
I think Bob Lilly was gone was the big reason that they needed somebody to replace him inside.
Here's Payton struggling again. Payton got 8 or 9 yards before Mike Hegman made the tackle along with Randy White.
Looked like he was running through the surf, didn't he? He must have had 4 bodies down around the ankles, and he just kept wading through. He's got a pretty good brother playing for Detroit, doesn't he?
I was going to say, I had a chat with Eddie Payton, who had such a spectacular night in the last game of the season against Minnesota. A kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown. That was by Payton's brother.
I think both brothers point to the fact that you can go to school and really get an education and still play your football and become a very good professional at it.
Second and short. Here's Robin Earl, who lunges over the top for Bear first down. Charlie Waters made the tackle.
He ran 4.8 40s when he was weighing 260 pounds, the big kid from Washington, Robin Earl. Now they've got him trimmed. He's under 250. But they fly him by air freight to get him in the game.
He's quite a track man as well.
He didn't run the sprints, though, did he?
No, I believe he threw the javelin.
The coach threw the coach.
Whoever came close, he threw. Here's a draw play to Payton. The struggle for the football. It belongs to Dallas. Cliff Harris. Tackle. There is Tex Schramm, who just gestured. Jim Heffernan of the NFL on the far left-hand side of your picture, and Joe Bailey for the Dallas organization. That's Schramm clapping his hand there.
We don't see Gil Brandt there, but I'll tell you, if there's a better sleuth or a scout of personnel than Gil Brandt, nobody in sports knows it. He has done an excellent job.
He and Schramm and Murkison began this franchise, and they've been there ever since. What a job. I believe that's Walter Payton who's down. And Jack Pardee, I'm sure, who's concerned.
Yeah, Walter, the only reason the fumble occurred, and that was the 12th one he's had this year, is because he just keeps going. He keeps bouncing off people. If you're playing defense, the only way you can possibly defense this guy is to put as many men as you can get on him at the same time. There's 2, 3. I believe it was Randy White from the backside that caused it.
Payton is moving around, and looks like he's going to attempt to get up now.
You know what I like about him, though? I've never heard an alibi come from number 34 yet. If he didn't get the record, it's an off-track, so what? I like him. He stands pretty tall as far as I'm concerned.
Walter Payton, 17 yards, 17 carries, 54 yards. Robin Earl, by the way, I was wrong about the javelin. He was a discus champion in college and in high school.
Through giant platters.
Danny White is now the Dallas quarterback. Roger Staubach gets a rest. White, Brinson, Dennison. The Dallas backfield. This is Dennison. Doug for 4. Mike Hartenstein cut him off.
We were saying Roger sets the tone. He was 8 for 13 for 133 and really seemed to be completely composed, almost in a relaxed state today, didn't he?
1 touchdown pass, that to Billy Joe DuPree. A couple of other good throws, 1 to Dorsett that I can recall, 1 to Drew Pearson I can recall. Just well done. 37-0. Dallas over Chicago. 2nd down now and 6 to go. Motion comes Tony Hill. The ball carrier is Dennison. And Doug slashes up outside the 30. Hicks and Plank made the tackle.
You know, in the offseason where I run into Roger Staubach a lot?
Where?
At children's hospitals around the country or something. You'll get a call and say, guess who's dropped in the ward and said hi to the young people that are there, you know? And he just walks in off the street sometimes. Rather interesting.
Very active in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes as well. I hear Whistling Bray somewhere.
He should be close.
Tony Hill split wide to the right alongside Butch Johnson. Brinson and Dennison, the running backs. Danny White, the quarterback, 3rd and 3. Throws to Colin Richards and underthrows him just a bit. So Danny White, who just threw, will now become Danny White, who will kick.
You wonder how long Danny White's going to be happy to be a quarterback that sees such little action, because he's extremely talented. Some people think he might be used to secure somebody like Earl Campbell or somebody like that.
Be interesting to have Earl Campbell and Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach all in the same backfield, all 3 Heisman Trophy winners. Not to belittle Mr. Newhouse by any means. Anybody would have a tough time displacing him. Steve Schubert. Danny White's kick goes to Schubert at the 33. Schubert went out of bounds. Jay Salvi almost took his head off. To throw again and throws outside for Walker. Peyton has a struggle on his hands to get a couple. The Bear bench has a bunch of guys looking at the artificial turf.
Young Scott was the person that Jerry Tubbs and the people on defense worried about the most, because he has great speed and has caught the bomb against the Rams and all, but they've done a pretty good job of shutting down the leading receiver for the Bears.
Excellent job. Avellini drops, throws quickly. Schubert. Charlie Waters puts a clamp on him. Avellini is down, knocked down by Randy White. We mentioned before that they played together in college, but are not necessarily that good of friends.
They're talking about it now. Avellini said he sort of liked White, but they just didn't see things the same way.
It didn't take him very long to find out that not only was the guy very talented, he also had a lot of desire.
Tough man, perhaps the strongest man on the Dallas team, and that's saying quite a bit.
You know, that weak side tackle that he plays in the Dallas flex is a perfect spot for him, as quick as he is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 54, defense. The penalty is tacked on to the completed pass. First down.
54 on the D is Randy White.
This probably happened in the dormitory when they were both Terps. But Randy can't take it off.
It clubbed him, didn't he? Here's Peyton. Peyton is pulled down by Gregory and somebody else on the bottom of the pile. D.D. Lewis. Ed Jones also part of the act. 8:20 left to play in this contest, which has been put in the W column for Dallas. 37-0 they lead.
You know what Walter Payton wants to do? He wants to get his master's degree in communications. If he can communicate like he can run, I think he's got a heck of a shot.
I think we've got some competition. Second down for the Bears and 7 to go for a first down. Avellini throws outside. Schubert has it. Knocked out of bounds by Mark Washington. Benny Barnes gets a little rest. At one time, it was a packed house, a sellout crowd. Some people obviously still here.
Dallas wives, perhaps?
Could be. Tom Landry.
Look at this.
The dapper one.
He's mad because the Bears just completed a pass.
Why do you think he referred to me yesterday when he said, you know what it's like when you start to get old?
Yeah, he was looking around for all of us.
Robin Earl straight ahead picks up the Bear first down. Stopped by Bill Gregory. Earl got the clutch touchdown last week against the Giants in that snow and sleet bowl.
Tackling a guy like Robin Earl, you can hit him so hard that the bottom of your feet burn. Did you ever have that happen when you were playing? Hit somebody with your head and the nervous system sort of goes into shock.
Yeah. I know the feeling. That's the best description I've ever heard. Now I know what to do when my feet get cold. It's a Bear first down. Cowboys put the heat on Avellini, and he fires for Schubert, and he's going to have a Bear touchdown. Cliff Harris back there with him, but Steve Schubert takes the strike from Avellini. And that makes it Dallas 37, the Chicago Bears 6. Here it is.
First touchdown catch for Schubert, and he has a lot of moxie. We've said he was hurt during the middle part of the year. He takes it inside and breaks back out to the corner, and this ball's extremely well thrown. And Cliff Harris, the man from Ouachita Baptist, is just a little late for the first time.
34-yard touchdown strike from Avellini to Steve Schubert. Avellini will hold for Bob Thomas, who kicked the field goal in overtime against the Giants last week. Put the Bears in this game. He was at one time with the Dallas Cowboys. Schubert has caught 5 passes, by the way, from 69 yards. They signed Efren Herrera, the Cowboys did, and released Bob Thomas. The Bears are glad they did. Here's Bob Thomas. Kicks it high. Butch Johnson standing right there. Butch cuts back to the middle and gets out to about the 34 before he's tackled by Robin Earl.
I tell you, Butch Johnson might be one of the most valuable Cowboys of them all.
He's pretty glassy.
Dave, you got any sound? Incredible. Good-looking teeth, too. I'm a tooth freak.
Are you? Later today, regardless, the second of the NFC playoff contests, Minnesota Vikings against the Los Angeles Rams. That'll be approximately an hour after this one is over. Blacked out in Los Angeles and San Diego. Running backs behind Danny White are Doug Dennison and Larry Brinson, and that's Dennison. Dennison almost gets the first down. Tom Hicks, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
You know, the Bears beat both teams in that game that's going to be later here on CBS. Beat the Rams, and they beat Minnesota.
Let's go down to Paul Hornung now.
Pat, I think you're seeing a little touch of class as far as the Chicago Bears are concerned. They're completely manhandled on a terrific, awesome display by the Dallas Cowboys. But Jack Pardee's team is trying to hang in there. Avellini, after 4 interceptions, goes for the bomb, gets 6 points. This is a young football team, and you're going to see him next year in the playoffs.
Does he have number 5 on down there?
I think it's under his coat, yeah.
I didn't recognize him in that cashmere top coat.
I thought he was starting to turn for the end zone. Larry Brinson runs into a couple of his own blockers. Billy Newsom, and Tom Hicks made the tackle.
Do you mind if we say hello to George Halas back in Chicago?
I think that's nothing but appropriate.
Be darned if this league would be anything without people like George Halas. just think it's a good time to say hi to Papa Bear back there.
I think that's more than appropriate. The Texas Longhorns have some fans here today, and they'll be in the Cotton Bowl against Notre Dame here on CBS. And that sign that you saw is so familiar to people in these parts. Hook 'em horns. 3rd and short. Brinson tries on a second effort, but I believe he's short. Gary Finsick filled the hole.
Do you know Dan Devine worked the Irish out at 1:30 this afternoon to keep the concentration and not let them think too much about a game that's a few years away for most of them?
They had a celebration yesterday at the hotel. They look like perhaps they'll be the next expansion team.
They are big, aren't they? Maxwell Club is going to give Ross Browner the most valuable collegiate award.
Of course, another All-American on the other side, on the offense, I mean, and Ken McAfee.
He's almost as big as Browner.
I know it. Here's Danny White. High knuckler. Livers lets bounce. The Bears let roll. Aaron Kyle finally drops down on it. A 34-yard punt by Danny White. Don't forget that NBA special coming up on CBS. Some of the surprise teams of this year. Some of the guys who weren't supposed to be so good are pretty good, like the Phoenix Suns.
Is that going to be a sort of analysis and sort of set things straight, what we can look for all year?
A lot of action footage. Some new names and some familiar ones as well.
Dr. J.
Pistol Pete. First down for Avellini and the Bears. Fires down the middle, and Robin Earl has it. Stopped by Mike Hegman, number 58. Dallas 37, the Bears 7. 4:22 left to play now.
I mean, Noah Jackson and Randy White just had a joust on the line of scrimmage that was incredible.
Well, let's go back and check it out.
Watch the center of your screen, 54. Noah's at 272. Randy at 254 or so. 3 big bumps and then a cut, and they were still active at the after the play was over.
They're still jousting. Cowboys lead by 30 points. And the blue seats start to show up as the crowds begin to leave and get that early start. Outside it goes to Walter Payton. He slips by Aaron Kyle and cuts back to the middle. He's still on his feet. Payton out to midfield, and just a little example of his capability right there.
5 Cowboys had decent shots at him. And how he stops it and starts it all over again, I don't know. Let's just watch. I wish I could whistle something. There's 1. That's Kyle, number 1 draft choice. 2, 3, 4. Randy White, number 1. Cliff Harris, it was 6.
What would you whistle? It'd have to be something like the flight of the bumblebee.
High and the mighty.
1st and 10. Robin Earl and Johnny Musso are now the running backs. Avellini throws outside. Scott has it at the 35-yard line of Dallas. Aaron Kyle stopped him. Minnesota and Los Angeles to come later this afternoon on CBS. Ball now goes to the 35 with 2 minutes 40 seconds left to play in this contest.
Were you impressed with Denver?
I was impressed with Denver, but I was even more impressed with their enthusiasm and the fans.
Boy, do they hit you a lick on defense, huh?
Wow. And Dave Casper and the Snake were pretty impressive, too. And Oakland and company. Harvey Martin takes down Avellini. They used to call him too tall for Jones and too mean for Harvey. But Harvey didn't like that.
They tried to hit the radio commentator. He's got his morning show, the beautiful Harvey Martin show, and just goes around and makes the move. He studies each offensive tackle all week long and doesn't decide what he's going to use, he says, until game time. Talk about Harvey Martin. What did Landry say? That at one time they weren't sure how good a defensive end he was really going to be.
They said they knew he was quick. And And they knew he was big and they knew he was strong, but they weren't sure about the mental aspect. I think he's convinced them. That is the 2-minute notification. Jack Pardee will be glad to hear that. So will Tom Landry, I would imagine. 37-7, the Cowboys over the Bears.
Ford introduces Futura, a dramatic combination of styling and technology for 1978 and beyond. Futura, designed by computer modeling and aerodynamic testing. It can provide excellent fuel economy and room for 5 passengers as well. Futura, designed for 1978 and beyond. Realistically priced for today. See your Ford dealer for a personal test drive.
Sir, excuse me. You just bought a new maintenance-free Firestone Forever battery. How come?
Well, the warranty. You see, if this battery ever fails to hold a charge for the original owner, that's me, in the car in which it was originally installed, right here, Firestone will replace it free with proof of purchase, provided it's not merely discharged or damaged due to accident or abuse. Oh, and I don't even have to put in water. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it sure does.
The Forever battery, now maintenance-free.
With 2 minutes left to play, we're at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys have just dominated the Bears today. And that poster was made, I'm sure, long before the game began. But that turned out to be very prophetic.
I tell you, Chicago's back, though. I hate to be playing them next season on back-to-back Sundays.
Inside trap doesn't work on Gregory.
And, you know, that might be the best football city in America, and I'm not trying to downgrade any particular area, but South Bend's just down the road. They like football, and they like it hard-nosed. I think their team is making a big move under Pardee.
And Jim thinks. Walter Payton, 19 carries, 59 yards. And it seems like he's been pretty well shut off. It doesn't seem like he's gotten that many yards.
Caught 3 for 33.
Payton out of the backfield. Ed Jones. This time from the other side. Too tall, comes around the corner. Sacks Avellini.
Well, Avellini got both backs out and left it sort of 5 against 4. He'll divide the backs. Payton to the bottom of the screen and Robin Earl at the top. And Dennis Lick just can't handle Too Tall Jones, who now obviously is just pass rushing and putting his ears back, huh?
Nobody stops the clock. And by the time Bob Parsons punts, we'll have less than a minute left to play. Tony Hill is deep for Dallas. 37-7. Cowboys have had to punt only twice. Parsons, funny looking kick, that one. Bounces back this way. Downed by Robin Earl. And so they'll stop the clock now with 42 seconds left to play. A lot of the fans have long since departed. Chuck Milton, Charles III, also known as the producer.
Took us to the Playboy Club last night for dinner.
He sure did.
Well, there weren't many places open.
And the rest of those guys that help us spending their Christmas as we are in Dallas, setting up for this broadcast. And as I've said many times before, they make it easy for us.
And it really is a team thing. I know that might sound trite, but it's true.
They deserve to go into the playoffs. Here's Doug Dennison breaking out for a first down. Gary Fensick made the tackle. Maybe one more play. So Dallas will go to the NFC Championship game against either the Los Angeles Rams or the Minnesota Vikings, who play later this afternoon here on CBS.
You know how good these two teams are, though, as far as physical preparation and all. There hasn't really been a serious injury. We've gotten a sprained ankle on the big defensive tackle, Rydalk, but it's been pretty clean and tough and hard-nosed, and I don't know, that's what football is really all about, isn't it? It's a game.
They're going to let it run out. And for that man right there, it's a sad game. Not for him. Tom Landry looking across the field, looking for Jack Pardee, and looking to shake hands right now. And Party's going out to do just that. Landry waves. Party looks. He's still looking.
I remember, though, when he had the expansion team, and that was really a bunch.
Tom, you mean?
Yep, Tom Landry, and I never heard him alibi or complain then either. He wears well, doesn't he?
He hasn't changed. He really hasn't changed from the days that he and I were together in New York. And as he mentioned yesterday at the news conference, no matter how long ago that was, he's still got a soft spot for the people in New York.
I think Paul's going to have Waters and maybe Coach Landry to a few people and talk to him about how psyched they really were about this game.
Well, Paul is standing by, Paul Horning, that is, who's been on the sideline throughout the day. And let's go down now to Paul Horning, who's got Charlie Waters with him.
Well, as Charlie Waters walks over here congratulating the Chicago Bears, Charlie, you had 3 interceptions today, and if we had to talk to anybody, we'd have to almost talk to the whole team. This was a great overall effort, an awesome display by Dallas.
Thanks a lot. You know, we've been waiting a year to get back in this position where we could, the first round of the playoffs is very important. You know, we lost to LA the first round last year, and that's all we've been thinking about since the San Francisco game 2 weeks ago. And we're just ready. You know, if we can harness all this energy and make it happen next week, we want to be in the bowl.
What about the first half when the Bears looked like they were going to put some points on the board? That wasn't your man. Ladder looked like he was wide open. You came from the other side with just a beautiful interception.
Thanks. We had a zone defense on where Cliff and I were supposed to take half the field, and I just set it up, wanted Bob to throw it in there, and he did, and I broke for the ball. I just wish I had a better run back. I think the key to the game early in the game, when we made those 2 fumbles on offense and our defense came in and stopped them right then at their strengths, and then we were able to control the game from then on.
The Dallas defense was awesome. What about Walter Payton? You stopped him cold for 3 quarters. This guy gives, well, 110% every time he runs the football. Did you think that you would control him coming in?
Well, we had controlled him last year, but he'd had a bad ankle, and the more we watched him this year on film, the more we were impressed with him. The guy's a tremendous person and great character, and it's just he must be he's the heart of their team. And you saw what he was made out of this game. In the last of the game, he was still going 110%, breaking tackles, 37 points behind, and he is by far the best running back in the NFL today.
You know, I get a kick out of all the writers. They keep saying, well, Dallas has got great potential. They're going to reach their potential. As far as I'm concerned, you've reached it. You cannot play you can't play a better offensive, defensive game than you did today.
Thank you. We'll check it out at the end of the season because that's the measuring stick on your team is whether you can reach that big game, and that's what we're playing for.
Well, continued good luck. Charlie Walters with 3 interceptions today. Pat?
All right, Paul, thank you very much, and thank you very much, Charlie Waters. Now, we take you to CBS Sports Control.
All right, congratulations to all of the Dallas Cowboys who now go on to play for the NFC Championship, and also to the members of the Chicago Bears who close out their season on a disappointing note but took a couple of gigantic steps this season. Now, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS, it'll be the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. The winner of that game will then play the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas for the NFC Championship next Sunday, and our coverage will begin at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. The AFC game will be played first. That will be in Denver. The Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. They have met twice already this year. They have split. Oakland lost at home. Denver lost at home. And so it's the rubber match, and the winner, of course, will go on to the Super Bowl game January 15th. We will have coverage of that contest from New Orleans here on CBS. And, of course, the winner of that game will be matched against the winner of Dallas in either Minnesota and Los Angeles. And for an update on things out in Los Angeles, if you'll recall at halftime, miserable weather out there in the Coliseum. Let's go now to Vin Scully and Alex Hawkins. Vin?
Well, thank you, Brent. Nothing has really changed here in Los Angeles. It is still blustery, rainy, and miserable. In fact, we went back through the books to look up the last time an important game was played here in such weather, and you have to go back to 1949 when the Rams played the Philadelphia Eagles in a championship game, December the 18th. The Eagles won it 14-0. There were 27,000 people in the ballpark, in a park that in those days held over 100,000. So the first question in Los Angeles, I think, how many people will even come out to see this game? you know, there was a tremendous amount of indifference. One reason being that the Rams have already polished off Minnesota twice, once in the exhibition season. What about those previous games, Hawk? Will they have a bearing today?
Well, I don't know about today's game because, as you say, there were about 10,000 seats left unsold before this rain. I don't know how many no-shows we're going to have. The thing about it, they remember, the people here in the Coliseum remember the last outing about 9 weeks ago when the Vikings completely were destroyed by the Rams, 35-3. So they're kind of looking for the same thing here in Los Angeles area.
Well, you can play the old song, Button Up Your Overcoat. That's the situation in Los Angeles. Back to High and Dry, Brent Musburger.
Thank you very much, Ben Scully. I wonder what the weather is this afternoon in Bloomington, Minnesota. Probably much nicer than L.A. Jimmy the Greek, what about the upcoming game between the Vikings and the Rams?
How about this, Minnesota weather again? I guess it's going to be a little bit closer now. There isn't any doubt about it. The speed's about even between Rashard White and Waddy and Jackson. I think the quarterbacks, actually, Hayden and Lee, are dead even. I know it may sound ridiculous with Hayden carrying all the you know, the statistics things, but don't forget that Hayden's only been around a year or two. So, I mean, he's still got a lot to learn. The Rams' defensive secondary in front, definitely, and their offensive line that's where their big edge is. The running game, Foreman, again, McCutcheon and Capoletti is going to be about dead even. Yari will probably hold Youngblood a couple times. For Minnesota to win it, they're going to have to block a kick. The special teams are going to have to outsmart them some way.
All right, Jimmy, and the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
What are more people using to help their cars last?
Quaker State motor oil.
Shoot, Quaker State. Hey, Quaker State.
Quaker State. What are more people using to help them avoid expensive engine repairs?
Quaker State.
Quaker State. What else?
Quaker State.
Quaker State helps cars last. Maybe that's why Quaker State's the best-selling motor oil in America.
America, you've been changing.
Coming, going, changing, growing. The things that make up life.
Why is Bank AmeriCard becoming Visa? To keep up with you.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're taking more from life.
Today you need money that's good around the corner, all across America, and in 117 countries around the world. That's why Bank AmeriCard is becoming Visa, the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
The calmest man in the world, that would be Tom Landry, as his Dallas Cowboys head back for another championship game. He's standing by with Paul Horning in Dallas. Let's go to Paul now.
And Brent, Tom Landry is extremely happy today because, Tom, your team played so well both offensively and defensively.
Paul, we played the best game I guess we played all year. We were really up for the ball game, and our offense moved crisp. Our defense did everything they had to do, and even our special teams played extremely well.
You know, you've been talking about potential now for about 6 or 7 weeks and reading about the quotes. I don't know about potential. This team has already reached its peak.
Well, it showed its potential today, and it hasn't always done that every week, but it did today, and it was a great tribute to them because they were ready to play, and the Bears are to be congratulated. They brought a team in here, and they came a long way to get here, and as you said on the sideline, when you see Walter Payton running through 3 or 4 people, you know how tough a job it was defensive stuff. He never quits. A great tribute to that player. He's a fine runner.
You know, I'm glad you said that, Tom, because I have a sneaking suspicion that the Bears are going to be in the playoffs the next couple of years.
I'm afraid so. As long as they got Walter Payton, they're going to be around.
Well, let's look ahead a little bit, Tom. Of course, I know you're going to be interested in the TV game coming up on CBS out on the West Coast. Do you prefer maybe the Minnesota Vikings coming down here or maybe the Rams? Who would you like to see come down here?
I don't really have a preference, Paul.
I knew you'd say that.
I think the Vikings are much stronger than people think they are. They played very good at Detroit. When you lose your first quarterback and then they come back and play the way they did against Detroit to get in this thing, they're tough, and they're going to be tough today. And we've had a lot of great games with both teams, and it's going to be a great game when we play Sunday, too.
How about the injury situation? Didn't seem as anyone on the Dallas side was hurt.
I think we came out all right. I held Preston Pearson out today. You know, he could have played, I think, a little bit, but I took a chance, and I held him out so he'll be ready Sunday, and he's a very vital player for us.
Dorsett looked great.
Yeah, Tony's just come on so great, and he's just such a great runner, and what a great future he has.
Well, thank you very much. Tom Landry of the Dallas Cowboys. Now back to you, Brent.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. Phyllis, you probably know Tom Landry as well as anyone. What kind of a man is he? Why is he so successful?
He's a successful man because he's very calm inside and he knows how to handle the situation under any kind of pressure. There's tremendous respect for Tom Landry among fans, friends, players, players' wives, etc., and the personnel at the Dallas Cowboy office. It's interesting, I was up there this week interviewing Staubach and Dorsett. One of the PR men said, you know, Landry spoke to me 3 times today. He said he really is a friendly man and has a tremendous sense of humor.
Well, an interesting thing about Tom Landry that I really didn't know about until this week is the fact that at the age of 19, he flew bomber planes during the Second World War, and once he was shot down, his whole crew, they survived this. But, you know, football can't be too exciting to a man who's come through something like that, and maybe that's why he's always seems to be so in control of himself and run that organization so well. And then, like you say, underneath where all the turmoil is.
It's happening, yeah.
Phyllis, right now, let's go back to the locker room. Paul Hornung is standing by with Harvey Martin. Paul?
And he's going to be an all-pro, no question about it, for years to come. Big Harvey Martin. Harvey led the National Football League in sacks, had another great day. Your defense was just simply beautiful out there today to watch. You shut down everything.
Well, we had a lot of guys that worked hard this week. You know, Walter Payton led the whole league in rushing, and it's just phenomenal. Man, I've been having nightmares every night watching him on films. You know, he's a super guy, and he broke some runs out there today to let everybody know that he can run. The defense, though, with guys like Charlie and Cliff and Randy and Tootal and Brunick, it's just
a lot of talent on this football team.
A lot of talent, and the guys work hard. You know, we're a unit, and we're a team. You know, we lose together, we win together, and we play together.
Would you rather play the Rams here or Minnesota?
I don't really care. I'm just happy to be in it. You know, it's this time last year we were walking back here all sad and brokenhearted because we had lost to the Rams in the opener of the playoffs. And this year we won it, and just hopefully we can go on next week and play a good game against whoever's coming. I really don't care. I'm just happy to be there.
I think that shows you the attitude of all the Dallas Cowboys here at Texas Stadium. Now back to you, Brent.
Paul, thank you very much. Herb Cross, you played an awful lot of defense. Is it difficult to play a controlled system? When you watch college football, they're always pursuing, gang tackling. What does it take to go down there and play defense?
Well, you have to pursue and gang tackle, Brent, but I think that the most important thing in the Cowboys system is run what they call a coordinated defense. Everybody has a specific assignment, and they run that assignment first before they get into pursuit patterns. And you saw that many times today where Peyton looked like he might break outside, and the linebacker is standing there waiting for him. You know, they're one of the few teams in the league that's well-disciplined, and they run all 11 men on specific assignments in each defense.
You and I talked about that because there was Henderson stringing the play out, and then Harvey came in from behind and pulled him down. Right now, let's go back to the locker room. Paul Hornung is standing by with the winning quarterback, Roger Staubach. Paul?
And if you're going to be a quarterback in the National Football League, it's pretty good to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Roger Staubach has done such an excellent job for so many years. Roger, everything was, well, looked like it was well-oiled out there today offensively.
Well, we got to where we felt we could run the football, and all of a sudden we had 2 fumbles, and the thing is we were moving the ball. So we felt the running game was going to be a key, and we had a good first half. We really executed well. We ran the ball well, and hit a couple passes at the right time, and it was probably the best first half as far as just moving the football, other than the turnovers we've had this year.
Could this become the best Dallas team you've played on?
Well, it potentially is a great team with, you know, Tony back there. Gives us a dimension we really haven't had, a guy that can go all the way at any time, and Bob Newhouse has run well, and we got a young offensive line that's gotten stronger every game this year. So potentially, I'm looking at the offense. It's you know, the best offense we've had. Defensively, also, we got a lot of young people that are playing well. So it's a week-to-week business, though, and it's nice this week. But next week, it's you know, another challenge.
Thank you very much, Roger, and good luck.
Thank you, Paul.
Back to you, Brent.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. And again, that challenge will be played in Dallas, 5 p.m. Eastern Time next Sunday, the NFC Championship. In the NFL today, we'll continue with a live interview with Los Angeles Rams General Manager Don Klosterman in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. Alaska, tough on people, tough on oil filters. So we took Motorcraft oil filters to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 rugged months of Alaskan pipeline country, from winter's freeze to the hot, choking dust of summer, only one oil filter couldn't take the punishment. This is Lowell Thomas reminding you, no matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft oil filters from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
When you throughout the nation, as hurts the superstar. We got the winning combination, super people, super cars, making that extra effort to meet your special needs. Getting you in, getting you out with super speed. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
Some of our good friends out of Bloomington, Minnesota have been calling CBS with the temperature and the weather conditions. One says it's 2 above and clear. Someone else just called and says it's 3 below. I rather suspect that the first caller probably works for the Chamber of Commerce. Right now, let's go out to Los Angeles, where Nick Bonicati is standing by with the Rams general manager, Don Klosterman. Nick?
Don, the weather. How will it affect the Rams' game plan?
Well, I don't think it'll have a real great effect on our football team. We run the ball very well, and weather like this, a lot of people think you throw the ball better, but I still think that the two of us have played in such adverse conditions over the years in playoffs that I don't think it'll have that much of an effect. But I would like to thank the Vikings for breaking the drought here in California. It seems like wherever we go and play the Vikings, we run into this inclement weather. Anyway, on behalf of the state of California, thanks to the Vikings.
Well, you know, everybody says that the Vikings have beaten the Rams in every playoff game, and does this give them a decided edge coming into this ball game?
I don't think so. I think that the games have all been so close and they've been decided by breaks, and I just feel that this football team we have is the best since Carol Rosenblum took it over in 1972. So, by the way, I'd like to congratulate the Dallas Cowboys on a fantastic win over the Chicago Bears, and hopefully we'll have a chance to play the next week in Dallas.
Pat Hayden, the quarterback. He took over when the Rams were 2-2. They were struggling.
Well, there's no doubt about it, and Pat, we all have great faith in him. He's a very intelligent individual. He's an awful lot like Bob Greasy, who I'm sure you're aware of his talents, and he's just given us big plays. He's a very fine scrambler, and he has a great throwing arm, and wherever he's been in his life, he's always won, and so we hope that today he'll make another mark in the Coliseum that he's been so famous for.
Thanks, Don Klosterman. Now back to Brent Musburger in New York.
Thank you very much, Nick Bonicati, and a reminder to all of you mothers and girlfriends out there, you've got time to serve dinner. We're not going to kick that game off until 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Do you remember a year ago, Minnesota and Los Angeles? Ron Jesse, out this year with an injury, was not given the touchdown on that end around right there. Then on 3rd down, it was Pat Hayden who was stopped by the Vikes' tough defense. On 4th down, Chuck Knox decided to go for the Tom Dempsey field goal. Nate Allen blocked it, and this is the play that folks think turned that game totally around in favor of Minnesota. It was Bobby Bryant going all the way for the touchdown that put Minnesota ahead in the first half. And how about Jim Marshall? He has had a remarkable career, hasn't he? He's never missed a game that Minnesota has played. And Rusty Jackson will not be punting for the Rams today. He was their punter last year, had this one blocked, and it set up a field goal by a man who hopes his career will not end today. Fred Cox has announced that he will not play after this season, and he wants in the worst way to be in that NFC Championship game next Sunday down in Dallas. So, Irv, it is Minnesota and Los Angeles, and how would you evaluate these two teams coming in?
It's going to be a very close game once again. You hear what Don Klosterman said about the games being close and the Rams losing because of breaks and turnovers, but the Vikings play that kind of football. They're a very opportunistic team, and any sort of a break you give them, they'll take advantage of it. But I think what's going to happen is that the Rams will again try to establish a strong run in the game early, which they will be able to do because the Viking defenses have trouble stopping the run, and the Vikings will sit back there and come up with some kind of a big play, an interception or a block kick or something to hang in there and stay in the ball game.
All right, Irv, thank you very much. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
Energy for a stronger America.
It starts here on the North Slope, the incredible 800-mile Trans-Alaska Pipeline. Now that it's completed, the oil it carries will reduce the payments America makes for foreign oil by billions of dollars each year. And each tanker of North Slope oil leaving Valdez Harbor carries a vital new source of energy for a strong America.
Let's buy our small computer from the giant computer company. You can't beat Goliath.
No.
Goliath?
Right, David?
Sir, let's go with Wang. Nobody makes a better small computer or word processor. They're giant killers.
It happened before. It can happen again.
because nobody's hungrier than Wang.
He's right.
Phyllis, while I'm getting some of these final statistics together, how about an update on college football? You've got some notes on the upcoming bowl games.
Some interesting things have happened in college life. At least 25 players and coaches from the Ohio State football team have been struck by the virus bug. Now, the team is in New Orleans getting ready for their January 2nd meeting with Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. But the Ohio State trainer feels the virus is one of those 24 to 36-hour variety, and all will probably be recovered in time for the game. We hope so for their sake. And there's controversy going on before other bowl games, too. The Cotton Bowl, which CBS, of course, will broadcast January 2nd between Notre Dame and Texas, has a bit of a fury going on. The University of Texas people claim they had been promised quarters in a major hotel in Dallas until representatives from Notre Dame asked for and got, mind you, the hotel for this week. The Longhorns are furious. And in Arkansas, Little Rock attorney John Walker said he's going to file a class action lawsuit on behalf of the three-star Arkansas players suspended by Coach Lou Holtz from playing in the Orange Bowl game against Oklahoma. Walker said the suit will attempt to enjoin the university from having a dual standard against black athletes. So some interesting college news about bowl games. Who do you like, Greek? We haven't asked you about that. We'll talk about
All right, the final stats are in now on Tony Dorsett. 17 carries for 85 yards. Let's turn our attention to the second half highlights. It was 17-0 in that game at halftime. Then it was Dorsett off tackle on this play, bursting across for the touchdown, and after the extra point, it was 24-0. Blitz coming up here against Avellini. The Bears had a rough day on offense. The Dallas team recovered the fumble on the 11-yard line, and that led to a 31-yard field goal. It was 27-0. Avellini hitting his tight end, number 88, Greg Latta. He is going to cough the ball up right here, and D.D. Lewis will recover and run it back to the Chicago 8-yard line. And from there, Dorsett ran in for still another touchdown, 8 yards out, and suddenly it was a rout, 34-0 Dallas. Charlie Waters with a big game, 3 interceptions in this contest. That's why Waters and Harris are considered the top safety tandem in the National Football League. That led to a 28-yard field goal. Efren Herrera, who was injured, was able to kick today, and it was 37-0 before Chicago finally got on the scoreboard with Avellini going to Schubert. They kicked the extra point. 37-7 the final score. In an hour, it'll be Minnesota and Los Angeles. For Jimmy the Greek, Irv Cross, and Phyllis George, I'm Brent Musburger, and we certainly hope that you enjoy the NFC playoffs on CBS.
The NFL Today is sponsored by the over 13,000 members of the American Bankers Association. Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see their better ideas for 78, including Paramount, the Ford in your future, and by Visa, the new name for Bank Americard. The NFL Today is a presentation of CBS Sports. See a special edition of 60 Minutes tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on CBS.